And I want you guys then to put it on your neck. So this lovely lady here, they almost put it across. Testing and going across, is it good?
No.
Okay, so if I go here, I want you guys to always work on the side closest to you. You don't want to go across and then push down. Because if you push down, you can cause a blockage. Okay? Now the other thing is, they say it's a carotid pulse. Why do we always say carotid pulse? Where's carotid pulse? Here. Right? Carotid is here.
Is it on the left or the right side?
It's either left or right side.
Both sides.
Both sides. So sir, if I was testing you, I could test here, or I can test here. Okay? But I'm always using these two fingers. Do we ever use our thumb?
No.
No. The reason why is because if I use my thumb, you can feel your own pulse. Okay? So I have some people sometimes, let me borrow. They'll go like this, and they'll go, okay, okay, no, nothing yet. And then they see the thumb start creeping in. And they'll be like, ah, yeah, I got it. No. Okay? Why don't we check here?
Why?
Why not? Why carotid? Why here? This is the closest to the heart. This here artery is fifth intercostal muscle. That's the closest, that's the distance. It's the strongest one, it's the last one to go. While if you're here, you might not, it's already difficult sometimes people filling on each other. That's why we're always picking carotid. Now, when we do carotid, when this gentleman here is going to check the pulse, we check for 5 to 10 seconds. So everybody check the carotid. You should be able to feel it, okay? And you go all the way up. Yeah? Okay? Now, if you don't know where it is, you could always get somebody else, remove your finger and put it there, and you can find it. Okay?
Somebody is not feeling it. Can we call 911?
If that person is not responding, you're calling 911 after that. So if there's no response and you can't find the pulse, automatically we are now going to call 911. So I'm going to get anybody. So I'll say to my Venus, call 911. We're on the 4th floor here. We have a person down, and then we have to tell them who they are, if they're on medication, what's their history, stuff like that. If we're not sure, we tell them where it is. Then we start doing CPR. So he's been already checking the pulse within 5 to 10 seconds. Now what happens is, he's doing a great job too. Now what we're going to do is we're going to landmark. Where's the nipple line? So here's the nipples here. Okay, there's the nipples. Underneath the nipple line, that is where you're going to put your palm. Okay, so your palm right there, right there. So the palm of your hand. So, nope, this way. So stand straight. Yeah. Then what you're going to do is you're going to put your hand on the center there. You're going to put your hand on top. Okay, so lock it together. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to make sure your shoulders are over the palm. Okay, so your shoulders, your arms straight, have to be over your palm. Okay, so now when we
need the height issue. The height issue.
height issue. If this table is higher than your waist, then you have to be on the floor. Okay?
Yeah, we're just doing.
We're only doing this now here. If the person ever did collapse, we're never going to put them on this table here.
No.
Because if that person goes on the table, and then I go on the table, this table is probably going to go down. Okay?
Pretend that we're on the floor.
Okay, so just pretend we're on the floor. When we count to doing compression, it's one end. The one is the compression, the end is the up. We have to allow the rib cage to get pushed down, and we have to allow it to recoil. Sometimes people will push, and they're not lifting their hand up, and they're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like they're pushing a dead wall. It's not going to happen. You have to allow the chest to pop up. So that's why it's a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. So now what we're going to do, we're going to count with this gentleman, or these two gentlemen here, and we're going to do 5 sets of 30. Okay? And you're going to follow my count. And we're going to see who gets tired first. But if anybody's gonna have a heart attack, we have to stop. If you're gonna hurt your elbows or anything like that, we gotta stop. So you guys are gonna count with me. You're gonna count 1 and 2 and 3, and at the same time, you're gonna compress. You're gonna push all the way down and come back up. Okay, everybody together. I want you guys to count too, because then you guys will know how long just 2 minutes would take. Okay? Ready? Counting together. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9 and 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Lift the back end. 9 and 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 30. Okay? Ready? Keep going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 9 and 30. 1 and 2 and 3. Let me show you. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 20. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 30. Okay, keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 7, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 1, and 2, okay, stop. So right now they did 120 compressions. That took you very close to 2 minutes.
Good job.
They're probably around 30 seconds short, but at the end of the day, imagine that only took 2 minutes. So if it took paramedics 20 minutes to come, you'd be doing that at least 10 times. Okay? Yes.
I noticed something.
Yes.
But we're not getting it right.
Where?
Because the feel of the palm is supposed to be the third, not the other way around.
So if you do it, if this is the xiphoid right here, this palm should be just a little bit higher.
Yes.
Right there.
Because if he's not doing it at the point, the person is.
So his hands were slipping. So
Yes.
that's why
Yeah.
I had to move it up.
Like, because this is just
Once we find that xiphoid, the nipple line, where it intersects from the center and the nipple line, that is where we're going to put the point of our palm. Okay, so the intersection here, the nipple line right here, right under the nipple line is where we put that person. Okay? Ben, do any of these click? Let me see that. Did we bring the other one? Oh no, these ones are, no. Okay. Usually what happens is these click, but I guess the ones we brought didn't click. But then we would get people to try it out. And if you hear the clicking, then they would know how deep it is. But then what we're always telling people, when you do compressions, you do it as hard as you can. I'm going to ask you guys, if the person's ribs break, do you stop?
No.
No, you continue. Now I'm going to ask you guys. Go ahead, yes.
Yeah, but when you're doing compression, you must feel. Since you can't give mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, you have to feel the nose, the air.
Well, in the beginning, if we're looking for the person responding, then in the beginning, if we assess the person and we can't hear it, we can't feel it, we can't see chest rise, then that's when we start doing CPR. We would do 30 and 2 and 5 sets until the paramedics come. Or just say 30 compressions. We would do compressions. We would rotate every 2 minutes until paramedics come. But once we get the assessment in the beginning, that person went down. Usually what happens is, if the person, it is witnessed where you see the face drooping, everything is happening, if that person collapses and stops breathing, and when we push on that chest, that person doesn't say, ow, we know that person is out. If that person's heart starts working and says, ow, then we know that person, is aware now. Okay, at the end of the day, we need to make sure though, the most important, when we know that person is not responding, not breathing, we need to do compression.